to debate, the Honourable Leader of the Opposition.
Mr. Speaker, I congratulate the Minister for presenting his first budget speech, but he spoke for quite some time. And given this Liberal government is adding almost $10 billion to our national debt every hour, it must be the most expensive speech in the history of this Parliament.
Minister for his first budget speech. It was a very long speech, and given that this government is adding about $10 million to our national debt every single hour, I think we can say that while talk is cheap, it's very expensive when a Liberal finance minister does it.
Every dollar that the government spends comes out of the pockets of Canadians, and the more they spend, the more things cost. And that's why the Liberals doubled the cost of housing and lineups at food banks. And that's why we wanted an affordable budget for a more affordable Canada.
This government is the most expensive in Canadian history. Every dollar the Prime Minister spends comes out of the pockets of Canadians. The more they spend, the more things cost. And that's why Conservatives were calling for an affordable budget, for an affordable life, after Liberals doubled the cost of housing and doubled the lineups at our food banks.
Today, the Liberals have introduced the most costly deficit in the history of our country outside of COVID. It will generate higher costs for groceries, housing, and for everything else.
The Liberals have introduced the most costly and largest budget deficit in history outside of COVID. The cost of this Liberal budget will drive up the cost of food, housing, and everything else that Canadians buy. And the Prime Minister has broken every single promise he made just 7 short months ago. He promised a $62 billion deficit. He delivered nearly an $80 billion deficit, $16 billion bigger than he promised and twice the size that his predecessor left behind. He promised to lower the debt-to-GDP ratio. He raised it, and inflation along with it. He promised to spend less. He's spending $90 billion more, costing $5,400 per family in Canada. And that $90 billion, to the Prime Minister's heckles, is above and beyond the promised $16 billion that he says he will one day find. And if he doesn't find them, it will be over $100 billion in brand new spending to respond to the Prime Minister's heckles, Mr. Speaker. He also promised that he would invest more. His own budget document lays out a graph showing that every quarter of this year will see private sector business investment collapse. This costly budget forces Canadians to spend more on debt interest than on health care transfers. Wow. More than the government collects in GST. That means every dollar the Canadians pay in GST will go to bankers and bondholders instead of to doctors and nurses, all while he raises the industrial carbon tax on farm equipment and fertilizer and therefore food, on steel, concrete, and other industrial projects needed to build homes, a big tax increases on homes and food.
So, on behalf of Canadians who are already paying too much for the cost of this Liberal government to heat themselves, house themselves, and feed themselves, Conservatives will not be able to support this budget.
Instead, our party wanted an affordable budget for an affordable life. And on behalf of all the Canadians who can no longer afford to eat, heat, or house themselves because of Liberal inflation, we Conservatives cannot support this costly Liberal budget. But there is still time for the Prime Minister to do the right thing. We will put forward an amendment that will transform this policy by making Canada affordable again. It will get rid of the industrial carbon tax, cut the wasteful spending to bring down debt, inflation, and taxes. It will open our country up to opportunity by developing our prodigious resources, clear away bureaucracy to build affordable homes.
We want the Prime Minister to accept our amendment to make life more affordable for Canadians, to make their paychecks stronger and our economy more independent. That's the approach we're going to propose. We're proposing an economy that's more affordable for our young people, that is safer for our seniors, and that protects Canada's promise for everyone who works hard.
Full future. For our young people, we want homes, jobs, and hope. For our seniors, we want affordability. And we want for all Canadians who work hard to bring back the promise of Canada. Thank you very much.
The Liberals have sacrificed the future of young Canadians. The deficit is a massive $80 billion this year. More inflation, higher costs. The Prime Minister...
The honourable member for Calgary East from the top, please.
Numbers don't lie, Mr. Speaker. The Liberals have sacrificed the future of young Canadians. The deficit is a massive $80 billion this year. More inflation, higher costs. The Prime Minister promised he would spend less and again broke his promise and is spending more. He's forcing young Canadians to sacrifice more so he can spend more. After 10 years of this Liberal government, housing costs have doubled. Food bank usage has doubled. Youth employment is the lowest it's been in 25 years. The cost on the interest of this government's debt is more than GST revenues or what goes to provinces in healthcare transfers. And today, the Finance Minister had a choice to make. Food prices could have came down. They could have been cheaper, but again, he refused to do this. The Liberals kept in place their industrial carbon tax, their food packaging tax, the clean fuel standard, and added $18 billion of inflationary fuel to the fire. Why did the Finance Minister leave in place Liberal hidden food taxes and force higher food costs on single mothers, seniors, and young Canadians?
The Honourable Minister of Finance.
Mr. Speaker, we made a clear choice. We chose Canadian, Mr. Speaker. That is the thing. I know the budget has many pages. Maybe my colleague missed a chapter, Mr. Speaker. But let me help him because we have a bit of time. Mr. Speaker, we made the choice to invest in Canadians. We made the choice to protect and build our communities. We made the choice to invest in our young people. We made the choice to invest in our worker. We made the choice to invest in housing. We made the choice to invest in infrastructure. We made the choice to invest in productivity and competitiveness. We made the choice to invest in our defense, Mr. Speaker. And I hope that they will see and their consumer will be watching. Will they make the choice to invest in Canadians as well? On this side of the House, the answer is clear, Mr. Speaker. We will take no lessons from the Conservative, but we'll take lessons from history.
Mr. Speaker, the last budget of 2 years ago had a fiscal anchor of a deficit of less than 1% of GDP in future years and constantly declining debt-to-GDP ratios in subsequent years. This budget has a fiscal anchor of deficits averaging 2% of GDP over the next number of years and a rising debt-to-GDP ratio. Will the Finance Minister confirm that his fiscal anchor is weaker than the last Finance Minister's fiscal anchor?
The Honourable Minister of Finance.
Mr. Speaker, I have a lot of respect for my colleague, but he might have noticed that the world has changed, Mr. Speaker, and this is a new government. And Mr. Speaker,
We have 30 seconds left. The Honourable Minister of Finance.
Let me repeat that because I know they like to hear it. Canada has the strongest fiscal position in the G7, Mr. Speaker. Not only we said it, but the director of the International Monetary Fund said Canada and Germany stand out, Mr. Speaker. We have the fiscal capacity to invest. We're going to build this country. We're going to protect this nation. We're going to build Canada strong together.
Mr. Speaker, Even ratings agencies are now sounding the alarm. For the first time in 30 years, do you know what, Mr. Speaker? Quebec's credit rating has been downgraded. Why? Because investment spending is beyond what Quebecers can afford. Do you know what else? This Liberal government is doing exactly the same thing, with capital spending beyond the ability of what Canadians can pay for. This government has already swiped our children's credit cards, our grandchildren's credit cards, and now even our great-grandchildren's credit cards. After 10 years of Liberal deficits, the Liberals have mortgaged the future of an entire generation. Canadians have had enough. Young people have lost hope. How long will this government continue to dig itself deeper into debt on the backs of our children to finance its inflationary spending? The Honourable Minister of Finance. Mr. Speaker, all right. Let's give them a chance to understand what we're saying. There is a difference between operating expenditures and investment, and he should be happy. Everyone should be happy that we will be investing in infrastructure. There may even be investments in health infrastructure, Mr. Speaker. The plan we are putting forward today is an investment plan. It is a generational, once-in-a-generation budget, once-in-a-generation investment. Mr. Speaker, we hope that Canadians tuning in at home understand that we need to invest in our prosperity for the future. We need to invest in our young people, in our workers, in our industries, and in Canada. We must invest in Canada because on this side of the House, Mr. Speaker, we believe in Canada.